Okay, another episode of What Would Mewwy Do? So we got audience choice, a choice between Tickatus and Queen Ragtoggle. I'm most likely gonna just pick Tickatus. Queen Ragtoggle really isn't that good. Audience choice doesn't really play into factor of who you pick because it's just so random. A lot of the times, of course, you just want to pick a good hero that can make use of cards. So generally speaking, that's just, if the game didn't have anomalies, you would still pick the stronger hero in the first place. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to buy is Elemental. Remember that the cards that you want to buy at turn 1 will always be economy cards. I'll put them out on display right here. So this game, I'll just give a heads up, is going to be an APM game. And I'll go through what it looks like, how you do it efficiently. My computer is not the best, by far from it. So there will be a lot of jank moments, a lot of lag, a lot of moments where animations just get in my way, but that doesn't mean that I cannot do APM. Alright, so we start off with this buddy, the squirrel bomb thing. So immediately speaking, I usually am just going to start working towards this. I doubt it's going to be a game plan at the end game. I already have that in mind. But what I do know is that this card is going to be a key card during the mid game. So focus on getting mechs, with death rattles, have this pop off, and at least make sure that I don't leave a fight taking any damage. We want to tie as much as we can, win of course, but at the very least we just don't want to take any damage. Oh yeah, so for combat, I'm just going to fast forward, don't want to keep you guys watching for too long, and really there isn't much to say. If there is going to be something to say, I will discuss it. Oh, so we got Random Cage. So when you get a card like this, do not play it immediately. Wait for a time where you got a good min, you want to give it attack, and wait for it to be, I don't know, maybe 30 attack first, so it can be at 64, something like that. Don't do it too early. Okay, so I'm gonna get Seaborn Summoner, I get Patient Scout. You don't need Patient Scout to go all the way to tier 6 for it to be effective, especially in a lobby like this where they could just hand you a tier 6 or a tier 5 or a tier 7 even, had that happen. So don't be too greedy, especially, like I said, the game could just give you tier 6s before he gets to the tier 6 turn. Though, personally speaking, I am pretty greedy. If this was a normal game, so I'll explain how Patient Scout works a bit. It takes a lot of health to get the card to go to the tier 6. Well, what I mean by that is that you are going to take a lot of damage. You might not win your combat. So it's very difficult for some heroes that, don't have any ability to fight, like say Alexstrasza, to use this card. However, it's very efficient for somebody who can fight and have tempo, hero powers, or have ways that they can make sure they don't take too much damage. And that's why I don't mind doing on Tickatus, though I know I don't really need to, since as you can see, we got a tier 6 coming on the way. Not a card that's really going to determine what the game's going to be, but it's a very tempo heavy card, and this will help me fight everybody else, though I know they'll have it themselves. Either way, I know I don't really need to push this card to get to tier 6. So yeah, neat trick. Look, none of the cards on my board seem all that efficiently good. I know I could have maybe used a Seaborn Summoner card, the Spellcraft, to land it on an undead and try to get a bunch of undeads like that, but I think what's more efficient is to get myself some tier 3. So I upgrade, I roll, I do the Seaborn Summoner, and get a decent amount of cards that look pretty good. 2 of them are mech cards, so that helps my Squirrel Bomb. That helps me fight against my opponents. And I noticed that there's Recycling Wraith. That can lead itself to something really, really cool. So I want to get Recycling Wraith. I'm going to sell some cards to get it, so that I can be prepared and triple it when I have my Elemental Surprise. Because it's not like I want to triple the other cards in my board. I don't want to triple Water Droplet. Seaborn Summoner is fine. I could triple that, but I think I much prefer to triple the Recycling Wraith. And I'm holding on to the re-rolling Dark Moon Prize because I don't necessarily need it right now. It would have been a waste of gold to just throw it out. Hold on to it. Hold on to it when you really, really need it. You don't really need it in the mid game, since you're or not in the mid game, the early game. I don't need it now because I got a lot of good cards in the shop that I got, and I don't need to waste it. Save it for a turn you really need it. So combat phase ends up being a tie because Squirrel Bomb and all that stuff. All right, so cost 7 to upgrade. I don't think there's anything at tier 3 I really want. Plus, we're pretty strong. I know our opponents are strong too because they have these cards as well, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. So I want to keep Patient Scout because I'm just a really greedy player. You don't have to follow what I do there because, truthfully speaking, it probably wasn't for the best to probably sell it and just ride off the tempo instead of just trying to hold on to getting a tier 6. But hey, whatever. We end up selling the 5/6, play the Elemental Surprise, and just hold on. Now at this point in the game, it's mid game, and I want to figure out what exactly I want to do. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for another Recycling Wraith, trying to find those elementals that give buffs for every reroll I'm doing. Elise would be pretty nice, just to make effect for all the rerolls I'm getting. Mechs would be pretty good, though like I said, I don't think I can make a build out of the Squirrel Bomb. It's just a temporary way to get, just to win fights to make sure that I'm not getting absolutely destroyed. Alright, so we tie this fight, which is good. So honestly, this is a big mistake. I really should have gotten Elise, and I don't know why I didn't. I think my brain wasn't working. And now I'm gonna do something incredibly greedy, and that is I'm gonna go for a tier 6, right? So I have 35 health. Usually when I'm high health, I like to do the most greediest plays I could possibly do, and that involves just trying my best to get a tier 6 before everybody else to make sure that I can get a tier 6 before everyone else and try to win that way. It has lost me games, but it has won me games too. I will get hit, I will get punched in the face, and I think I can determine that I'm probably gonna take a full 15. My minions are small. Even with Squirrel Bomb, I do not think it's enough for me to not get hit. So I'll accept it. It's 35 health. It doesn't matter. I have 35 health. It doesn't matter if I'm at 20. What matters is I win. And I think a tier 6 would be really nice. I'm looking for Rock in particular. Yep, that hurts, but I'll accept it. Now to look for a tier 7. So we play a Recycling Wraith that's golden. So a choice between Young Murkai, Elemental Surprise, or Foe Reaper. I'm going to go for the Elemental Surprise so we can get another triple. We can triple our Seaborn. We can triple any good elemental that we see. These aren't good ones, the 1/4. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Luckily, I got a bunch of rerolls. So we're going to look for something. Like I said, Flame Elemental. This is a patch, by the way, where we still got Gusty Trumpeteer. So I do want to look for that. I see Bran and I see the Fire Elemental, so we're going to start selling cards. I went to get a tier 5 because I wanted to... look, I don't think we need to get a tier 6 right now, because there's other ways we can get tier 6s. Like I said, with Elemental Surprise. I figured let's just keep the tempo cards and let's try to go for Bran. Bran works very well with elementals. I'm hesitating because I'm actually wanting shoot. Did I do everything right? Because that wasn't, I'm not getting that much stats, but I think that was a huge mistake. I don't know why I did a lot of the things I did here. I think I was in full panic mode, trying to get all the rerolls because I wanted to make sure that Fire Elemental can give a lot. I didn't manage to play Mana Wrath. I didn't play Rat in the Cage. Luckily for me, my opponent actually wasn't that strong. So I managed to get away with a lot, especially because I kind of sniped his Squirrel Bomb, which would have been a huge difference maker if I allowed it to just, if I hit the Micro Mummies before anything else. So super lucky on my part. It was a 50-50 at the end as well. Okay, so this is where the game really starts. This is where everything clicks in, and I can't believe the stuff that I got away with in this game because I just played absolutely monstrously greedy. So I got on the house, which means I want to upgrade so I can get a rock, don't find it, get Uther. So we're going to put Uther on a card that's really important and it can help us. We see the 4/4, I always forget names. But this is going to help us because it can help us fight. It's an elemental. We can use our Dark Moon Fair Price to get all these cards. Because there's a couple cards here that we want to have. At least 2 that are pretty helpful. So, considering the Murloc stuff, don't want it. I see a Foe Reaper. Very flexible card. Can help us with the Rock build. So I'll just pick it up. I see Gusty Trumpeteer. This is the key card that we need to make sure that we can get all the elementals. So I'll play that. Probably start throwing away all this mech stuff. Now I gotta find elementals so that I can get as much, you know, procs to get off so I can get more elementals and just keep recycling. Luckily, we see McKz. Now this really helps out because we got Full Reaper, can give it a Reborn, a lot of attack, Wind Fury, and now we got a card that we can use Rat in a Cage with. Not gonna do it now, it's a little bit too small. I want to make sure he's at 30 attack. I think that's a good number to hit before we can start doing Rat in the Cage. Okay, that's good. We actually get another copy of the elemental that reduces attack and health. So this gives us a triple because we got elemental surprise on our board. I don't think my opponents were considering any of that, but that's fine. Luckily we have enough stats to get a tie because recycling rates has been buffed a lot from the fire elemental. So we get our triple and we discover the card that we're looking for the most. We're gonna get Rock. Now we have the build that we need to find. We got the finalized build. Now all we got to do is get a bunch of elementals, cards that synergize with brand, that gives us more cards like McKz. Get 4/2 just so we can buff some cards. Honestly, probably shouldn't have bought them or whatever. Patient Scout because I want to get Elemental. Don't get it, but it's fine. Get Seaborn Summoner. That way we can find some more elementals. Find another elemental surprise. Now my goal is to triple this Rock or triple this Gusty Trumpeteer. That way, you know, they'll be golden real easily. I don't know why I rolled, but we see a Elemental and that is great. Elemental I'll always freeze for a recycling rate Rock thing. That's just me, because I just like to make sure that I have the rerolls necessary for this build to work. Not everybody agrees with me, and that's perfectly fine because, you know, why get Elemental when you could just find more Rocks or Tavern Tempest? Now that Genie is in the game instead of Gusty Trumpeteer, you don't necessarily need to freeze for this Elemental. So, you know, there's that to consider. Alright, so luckily this Foe Reaper has been paying off, completely destroys his build. Okay, get this Elemental, and gotta remember what we're trying to do, what we're trying to buy. So we can't buy just every Elemental. We want to buy cards that give us more than one thing. Like McKz, we want to try to find triples. We got Gusty Trumpeteer, that helps us free up a space, which is good, because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to Brand. And yeah, always remember keep in mind what to sell. I'll sell Brand, because everything else we really need to keep. Foe Reaper's too strong, the rerolls are good, Gusty Trumpeteer helps us get more elementals, Rock is key. So if you had to throw anything, it'd be Brand, which isn't too bad of a sacrifice to make. And here's the thing to watch out for Elemental Surprise. You really need to make sure that you're not tripling cards that you don't necessarily want to be tripled. And it's much more difficult to control that when you have Gentle Genie giving you random elementals. But here, I'm really trying to make sure that my Flame is not being tripled. I'm just going to use it. I know it could be even higher with the rerolls, but I am really just trying my best to make sure that I'm not wasting Elemental Surprise's ability. Alright, so when it determined what to buff, right? It was a choice between Gusty or Recycling Rate. I just wanted to make sure Recycling Rate was big enough for my opponents to not able to handle its big stats. It really didn't matter because both are Divine Shield, both are really strong, both we're going to keep no matter what because we're doing a Rock build. I just wanted to make sure that at least one minion has big stats that my opponent can deal with. If I spread it too thin, you know, it's not good at all. Though, you know, of course, I eventually want to buff Rock, so Rock's not like doing nothing. You know, make sure that he's actually fighting and not being a load on my build. Alright, so we beat our opponent. Game plan is still the same thing. Maybe the Nazat doesn't really help us out. Let's get Big Winner just because it could get us, Ice Block. We have so much gold, and honestly, I forgot about my rerolls, which was a big mistake on my part. I forgot that we got the Dark Moon prize for it. Don't need another Gusty Trumpeteer. That's completely worthless. We don't want to be board locked. Keep using Elemental. You know, I'm being really picky on my choices. We're not buying just any Elemental. We got so much rerolls, and I'll only buy an Elemental for like one that doesn't do a whole lot, just because if I need more rolls. You know, Tavern Tempest, that's always good. Again, I'm trying my best not to triple the Flame Elemental, so I'm just going to use it early, even though I could have gotten more stats. Just slap it onto Rock just so we can do stuff in fights. Keep rolling. Alright, so same thing with, you know, like I just said. When it comes to Elemental, try not to triple the Water Droplet. I know it's difficult just because, you know, you have to keep in mind so many things. But, you know, try your best. I'm just giving you a heads up right now on what to look out for. Okay, and then slap this on. And I'm just going to hold because I can't trust myself to give me the APM I need. Not even just that, just my computer. I felt like I did enough. It's okay if I waste 2 gold. It doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so we win the fight. Nothing too crazy to mention. They got a really good build, but the problem is that they don't have a Recycling Rate. They don't have a Gusty Trumpet. No, they do actually have a Gusty Trumpeteer, but it's just 1 compared to mine. I don't know if they can make the comeback. They do have all the rocks, but now he has no health. We'll see. Alright, so Dark Moon Fair Prize Hero Power. Just gonna get Mind Flay again. Now I'm gonna triple the Rock, and I messed up because Gusty Trumpeteer gave me more cards, which meant that I wasn't gonna get Elemental Surprise to go off on Rock, which really sucks, but hey, we'll try to make it work. However, we're really lucky to have found another Rock so we can triple it. I don't know how, because Brucon has a bunch of Rocks, so hey, whatever. Lucky, I'll take it. Play Rock, see what we can get, and we get Uther. Doesn't really matter. So gameplay is the same thing. We're just gonna keep re-rolling as much as we can. I want to use Seaborn's Spellcraft, but you know, I have to buy something just so we can make sure that we have 2 elementals in the shop. We do, but you know, nothing too important that I want to get. We'll just get this just so we can get the free reroll. I know I should have bought Seaborn, but I really didn't want to think about the Spellcraft. Play Tavern Tempest. We'll keep rolling and rolling. That's just how it is. More cards in my hand. Accidentally lost a gold. Okay, another Rock. So what does this mean? We need to say goodbye to Bran. Because Bran has done his job. Maybe we should have kept it a little bit longer just so we get more Tavern Tempest or Flame Elementals, but it's fine. Does not matter too much. What matters the most is that we are just going to play as much Elementals as we need. I know I skipped out on the Fire Elemental once again, but I'm just racing so hard. I don't know. This is a mistake. Honestly, I will tell you all this right now. This is a mistake. Me trying to just play so many cards just to get all the rerolls. It doesn't matter. Look how much gold I have left and look how much time I have. It really doesn't matter. Just play the cards. That's the most important thing, if anything. I'm just wasting time. I'm just doing the fancy play. Why? I don't know. It's a terrible, terrible mistake, and I'm gonna actually pay for it. Because my stats aren't as high as they could be. I'm wasting time trying to reroll. You don't need to do that, especially when you have infinite gold from Gusty and all these other cards. There's no reason to do APM if that's not the efficient play. Please, please keep that in mind. Alright, so again, we're just going to be recycling cards, playing all the elementals we have in our hand. We got Ticket Vendor, which, yeah, neat, good card. Will help us out. We could possibly get Ice Block. I keep forgetting about the free rerolls every turn, but you know, it doesn't really matter too much. I would never throw away base skill. Honestly, shoot, that was such a big mistake. Just because base skill has, you know, ways for it to be beneficial and help us out in the long run. So don't ever throw something like that. You know, you could have base skill and have it steal, or not steal, summon a bunch of like Leroys or whatever. You know, never throw away cards that can help you out unless you really need the gold, which I don't, because I mean, right now I am just playing. I am just playing elementals. I'm not trying to consider rerolls. I didn't have much time, so we're just gonna play. We're just gonna play. I'm not gonna. I really should stop pressing the button because it just makes everything lag a bit more. I wonder why I lag so much in the first place. I'm just buying cards. I am just buying cards. And, you know, this is a mistake. This is why I said, don't worry about the fancy APM stuff. It doesn't matter. What matters is getting all the stats. And if I'm wasting time just re-rolling, then I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna lose because my mins are not as strong as they should be. Do I lose this one? I actually think I lose this one. Yeah, I lose this one because my mins are not as strong as they should be. And I'm wasting time. And I need to realize that. I need to stop messing around. So much economy in my hand. And I'm wasting it trying to be cool, you know? I didn't intend for this video, for this game to be in the video series. No, I didn't. So me doing this is so worthless. At the time at least, because I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just trying to have fun. But what's the point when you lose it, you know? Alright, so yeah, everything's the same. Everything I'm planning to do right now is the same thing. Buying, rolling, get all the key cards, get as much elementals as I need. Oh yeah, and I was trying to find that card that removes Divine Taunt, just so I can give this to Foe Reaper. So I can give him Divine Shield and he can not get sniped because he got sniped last time. What I do want to do is actually get another Taunt Giver so I can give it a Rock. And we're going to do Big Winner again because we just want to try to get Ice Block. We don't get Ice Block, so we're just going to do that. At least now we have the Taunt thing. We got a free gold. You know, we can find more Elemental Surprise. We can find more Rocks. Will definitely help us out. Slight mess up, but you know, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, man, looking at the lag is so painful. It's so painful to look at. And I'm skipping a lot of cards. Why did I do that? Honestly, it probably doesn't matter too much. I just need to stop re-rolling. That's really the problem. I'm re-rolling like crazy for nothing. For like absolutely nothing. There's no reason for me to re-roll. I just need to play. I threw away the Fire Elemental. For what? You know? No, for no reason. Just play cards. Just play cards. I know re-rolling will help out with the Fire Elemental, but it doesn't matter if you know, the main way for me to get stats is Rock. I honestly feel like I'm criticizing my own video, which is kind of the case right now. I am looking back at my replays, which is something you all should be doing. You know, if you want to get better at the game, you should always look at your replays so you know what you're doing, what you did wrong. Oh god, I'm buying so many of these cards. And I'm lagging like crazy. Yeah. This way, so you know, hey, I'm doing way too much APM fancy stuff for no reason when I could have been getting more stats. Let's stop doing that, you know? That's what I'm learning just from watching. I'm so worried. Look at this guy's build. This is so crazy. I actually was really afraid that I was going to lose. I was so surprised that I won this fight. And I feel like I would have felt more assured if I was just actually, you know, making myself stronger rather than messing around playing APM. Honestly, that felt like a scam. Anyways, let's ignore the lag. Alright, we got Fistriz, which, kind of crazy. I don't know why I'm buying Mecha Jiraxis. I don't know what I'm doing. Aside from getting a bunch of elementals though, I do want to get Full Reaper Huge. Luckily, I've been getting a lot of magnetics, which will help him out. I need to stop getting Fellemental. Well, no, Fellemental's still good because it buffs the shop and it gives Full Reaper magnetics buffs. It's just, man, the animation takes so long. Okay, so I'm gonna give a dog a bone to this card just because it, you know, the Wind Fury will help out take out 2 big minions, which I know my opponents have. Okay, so yeah, just playing more elementals, got a new rock. Hopefully I can get it tripled. Hopefully I can get it with you know, elemental surprise. And this is the most painful thing. This is the most painful thing. I blindly buy elemental surprise without realizing I had 2 Fellementals in my hand. What does this mean? I now have to throw away rock if I wanted to proceed with this build and keep recycling minions to get stats because I'm board locked now. Oh, this is honestly a painful game, but you know, I like looking it back. I know it's painful for me, but it will help me as a player, and I'm sure it'll help you guys see the mistakes that I make. I'm doing well in the game, but I still make so many mistakes. Do not make the same mistakes that I do. Alright, you can see just how effective the Wind Fury is on this card. It reduced these 2 minions into nothing. Okay, my last opponent, Reno, and honestly, it's the same thing. Just play as much cards as I can. I ran out of space for my hero power. I don't think I really care too much, honestly. Didn't really seem that important. We're gonna use Fistriz to get ourselves another rock, so we can hopefully, for real, triple this thing. And I'm gonna get Party Elemental Golden just so I can make sure I got this thing tripled. I'm remembering now I got a bunch of free rerolls, so I'm doing that. Buy more Fellementals just for the magnetics, even though honestly the animation is so laggy I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's get to Discover. Nothing again, so we're just gonna buy elementals, play them, hopefully get elemental surprise so we can finish this build. If not, you know, that's fine. There's a lot of alternatives we have, you know. If it's the last fight, honestly, just buy Poison, buy Leroy, buy anything that can fight. It's the last fight, just go all in. How you know it's the last fight? Because both me and my opponents have almost no health. So yeah, we're just gonna buy this Poison. We're gonna play it. He's Murlocs, so we'll put it anywhere. Honestly, doesn't really matter too much. We're just gonna make sure it's over here just so it doesn't get cleave. I know he doesn't have cleave, but you never know. You never know. I think we're, generally speaking, bigger. Like, he has minions that are bigger entirely, but because we have like much more minions that have bigger stats than just 2, I think that helps us out a lot. And of course the Venom doesn't hurt. Oh yeah, and Divine Shield, that basically doubles our stats. So yeah, that was the game. Honestly, this was a crazy game. I made so many mistakes, and there's a lot of things that I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I'm about to show people this mistake. But you gotta do it. You gotta look at your VODs, record your games, look back at them, see the mistakes so you don't do this again. I hard focused on so many things. And I came out on, you know, first place, but I need to see these mistakes, remove them from myself, so that I can come out as a much better player, okay? Thank you all for watching. I hope you all climb. Here's my outro video. Bye.